Do you or your athletes get too caught up into worrying about who's in the stands and then thus lose concentration on the game at hand? Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Cohn. I'm going to tell you how to shift your focus back to the game and forget about people in the stands so you can perform your best in the game. This is Sessions with Doc, unrehearsed and unscripted answers to your mental game questions. Here's the question that I received from John. He said, my 12-year-old son is a hockey goalie for our AAA club in Canada. He seems to get nervous before big games, and I asked him what seems to be the issue. He says he loses focus when he sees the coaches and other people watching him from the stands. How can I help him focus on the game instead of who's watching him play? John, great question, and this actually comes under really two categories. It certainly comes under concentration and focus, that his concentration is displaced. He's worrying about how other people are evaluating him in the stands, and thus he's not 100% focused on stopping pucks and being able to pay attention to what's going on the ice. Now, the real problem here is that he cares too much about what people think about his game. We call that social approval in my work. What that means is he spends a lot of his time thinking about how others are evaluating him. Why? Well, athletes do this, especially perfectionistic athletes. They do this because they either want to be liked, respected, or on the other hand, the same phenomenon, he doesn't want to embarrass himself, look silly, make mistakes, and then have people upset with him. So he's really, really tuned in to how other people are evaluating his performance. That's why he's losing his focus and spending so much of his thinking about who's in the stands. I once worked with a high school volleyball player, for example, and she had this thing where she wanted other parents in the stands to think that she was a star out there. She wanted a lot of respect and admiration from other parents. And I asked her, how often when you're playing on the court are you thinking about that? And she said, about 40% of my thoughts are about what the parents are thinking. Now, you can imagine what a huge distraction that is. And it also becomes a source of pressure for some athletes that obviously worry about that social approval, worry about what others are thinking. So in order to perform your best, you obviously can't be obsessed with how others are evaluating your performance. It's just too distracting and it's too much pressure. What you have to teach your athletes to do is basically be in their own bubble on the ice, for example. In other words, it's your athlete, his teammates, the ice, and that's it. He needs to be really, really focused on what's important to think about. In addition, you're going to have to work with him on the social approval aspect and get him to understand that no one's evaluating him. No one's watching him to make judgments about him. That he's already respected, or he's already a respected part of the team. You have to dispel that completely. Finally, get him to refocus. If his mind goes to the stands, give him a refocusing tool that I talk about in the Focused Athlete CD and Workbook program that'll help him refocus really quickly. Because he can't spend more than a second or 2 seconds doing that. The puck could be by him in that moment. So get him into the habit of recognizing when his focus goes off the ice into the stands, being able to pull his focus back really quickly and get ready for the next rush or get ready for the next play. If you want more information about how to improve your focus, please check out the Focused Athlete CD and Workbook program at peaksports.com, one of our top sellers. Hey, please subscribe to my video before you leave. You'll be notified of other videos that come up on my channel here at Mindset for Sports on YouTube. In addition, we've suggested another video for you over here to watch that may be related to this video on how to concentrate your best in sports. Thanks a lot. You've been watching Sessions with Doc.